Are live. I don't have my thing set up. Either way it go. We're back for another week. I hope you enjoyed this week and I hope you had a good week. Um I hope you enjoyed last weekend. It was eventful. Uh to say the least. It was eventful. Hey Adrian, how you doing? What's going on with you? Let me get my stuff together. Hey Adrian. Get my stuff together. You here for it? What you here for? What you here for? Staci Lane, what's going on? How you doing? How's everybody doing on a Saturday morning? A Queen Lee, what's going on? I talked to Eric last night. We was up. Um, Me and Eric, a Queen Lee, I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and Eric was emailing me my time at 3 o'clock in the morning about NFTs and speaking at a conference, and there's a lady looking for some people to help launch a TV show, and we got to talking about that. So I was up late talking about TV shows and so forth. And what does that look like? Stacey Lane, you're welcome for the invite for to the Sands conference. Did you enjoy it? I didn't get a chance to say everything that I want to say, so you know I feel a little slighted, but that's okay because our pre-conference warm-up was way more popping. Like what you call it? Say, what you call it? Country Wayne talking about Jesus popping. Well, our pre-warm-up was popping. I hope you got some good information out of it. I hope you. Let me say it a different way. I hope you got. I hope you got information that you can go execute on. It's all about execution. You can get all the information you want, but if you don't execute, it's just information. No, Queen Lee, we're not crazy. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about Stacy. I wanted to talk about what I really wanted to talk about was this is something we had talked about in the pregame, if you want to say. We talked about how when you start making money, people don't believe you, and people around you don't understand. They don't understand how you move the way you move and why you want to move that way, right? So it's just one of them things that a Queen Lee, it was all in email. It's just one of those things that um that's that's a hard, I don't want to say a hard pill to swallow, but I don't want to say it becomes lonely, but it can be lonely. But it becomes one of those things where you like, damn, like we really just don't know. Like when you start going out and experiencing other cities, other circles, other worlds, and you start looking at folks and the money that they're making and the circles that they're traveling. I think that the documentary that came out this week about the couple that, well, she started the brand, her husband came in and handled the finances. They did 10 million. Then they talked about Don Peoples, and then they talked about the real estate agent in Atlanta who's making, I think she made 200,000 a month, right? So that comes out to be about 2.4 million a year. But but to me, I'm just, and people get mad sometimes. To me, that's normal to me. Like those are normal things to me. Like that's normal to me. And everybody's like, I and this is why I don't like the whole your unicorn conversation. I don't like the whole unicorn conversation because now it's almost like a dig, right? It's almost like a dig that you you studied, you worked, you you put yourself in a position to to thrive, right? It's almost like you get penalized for for being a go-getter, right? And then I go on, but it gets into, like, I was looking at a video yesterday, and this is from a doctor. I forget what kind of doctor she is, but she had doctor in her title, and they were it was her and the guy. I think he's called the colored bald ain't the colored bald man or bald man something. I don't know. I forget. It's in my history. But anyway, um, what she was saying was on this show. And this is what cracked me up. She was like, they were doing a comparison of what a bad girl is and what a nice girl is. First off, why do we always make comparisons between two? When did women and men come in just two forms? So you're either a bad girl or you're a nice girl. Like, and I'm like, well, one of the things that she said was that a bad girl is a go-getter. They're gonna go out there, they're gonna go get the money. And to me, that has nothing to do with being a bad girl. That just has something to do with somebody that just wants to go get it, whether it's a man or a woman, right? It's just my thought process. So that doesn't make you bad. It just makes you someone who sees an opportunity, and they're gonna go seize it. And I think when we get into these things where it's a nice girl or a bad girl, 'cause the picture the picture that was painted was that the nice girl is gonna be a pushover. She's gonna be mousy. She's gonna be a designated driver. She's not gonna be fun. No one wants to hang out with her because they know she's not gonna be the life of the party. And it was this brushstroke painting of what a nice girl and what a nice man is. It's like he's not gonna be assertive. He's gonna be a pushover, and then I'm like, where is this coming from? And she's a doctor, and she's coaching, and he's coaching. Oh man, we totally messed up in the game out here. And I was just like, man, what is this? This is crazy. And the fact that they had like maybe like I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people in on their live, and it cracks me up because I say it all the time. We too broke to argue. Hashtag we too broke to argue. D put that up. Hashtag we too broke to argue. Um, when we are in these different spaces or in circles and whatnot, no one cares whether you're super nice or a bad guy or whatever. What people care about is uh, are do you here's what I need, here's what I need, and can you execute on it? After that, no one cares about all this other stuff. And I keep saying it over and over again. Execution is key. Getting your skill sets is key. Stacking your skills is key. Getting and understanding what the requirements are and understanding um what the actual customer, whether it be internal to the company or external to the company, needs. You know, this is just it cracks me up. Oh, I have to see some comments in here. Stacy, I'm doing fine. Accountability partner. Um, there should be some people in our Slack that are actually um on that same journey. It depends on what you want for an accountability partner, right? So when we're talking about what an accountability partner is are you both going to meet every week or once every 2 weeks to discuss your journey, what you learned this week, how that works out? Like you got to come up with a system and a plan on that. And for me, um I can look at it a number of ways, right? And maybe others can chime in on this. So, an accountability partner for me would be somebody that I'm going to learn something from. And let me you hear me out when I say this. So, prime example, if you were studying for your Security Plus, and I was coming in and I was studying for maybe Security Plus in Linux or Security Plus in cloud or whatnot. When I say learn from, I mean different techniques to use for taking notes. Are you all sharing notes? And on top of that, what did you discover for the week? Like, okay, you read something about Security Plus, and maybe you went and did a deeper dive into a particular subject, and you added it to the notes, or you learned something about security in Linux, and you added that to the notes or whatnot, right? And you all discuss these things and flashcards and so forth and so on. That to me, that's just to me. This is just my own idea of what there are multiple variants of varieties, I should say, multiple varieties of what an accountability partner could look like. But that's just to me. That's just my thing, right? Uh, Engineering cannabis. You said, scroll. Where's that at? You said do what you do. People will continue telling you it's cap, and this and this week all I hear it is not possible. Oh yeah, I know people gonna keep telling me it's cap. I know it is. I was talking to D about this before we got started, and I was like, maybe I should start showing people that you can only make $40,000. That's like maybe I should just start showing people that you can only make $50,000. I'm not gonna show you that you can make this 100,000. We're not gonna talk about these jobs over here that are paying 2 million. Don't you worry about those because we're never gonna get there. That's not who we are as a people. And according to the stats, the stats are we're below 50,000 and on this end of the curve at 30,000. Like what when do we um step outside the box and say, okay, let's give it a shot? Just my thoughts. Would you say, and Queen Lee, those not your people? If they can't get past the money thing, continue. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna start doing that. I'm not gonna stop doing that. That's not gonna happen. Put it like this: I'm not gonna go quit my job to go make $20,000 or $30,000. Now I may go do a job that may pay me $20,000 for the month, or $20,000 for 2 months, or 30,000 for 2 months, or 40,000, whatever the case. But I'm not gonna quit my job just to go do that. Like I'm not doing that. Just a thought. Yep. So no, I ain't doing that. So Stacy, when we talk about the different fields, my best advice to you is go to sans.org and then look at the curriculum that they have. That's going to give you the different uh teams, because each one of those colors represent a team, and I've done a video on this before. Each one of those colors represent a team, and each one of those tracks gives you an idea. So when you look at blue team, green team, red team, cloud security falls on the orange. And I'm not sure if there's an orange team. I never really dove off and looked at it. I know you can get a job as as a cloud security, or as a cloud architect, or a cloud security architect. That's the actual position. But when it comes to that, just look at um what those colors actually mean, and what do they do. Some are offensive, some are defensive. It depends on what side of the map you want to be on. Right. All right, let's get started. We got people that rolled in. Shout out to everybody for joining us this morning. If you don't know who we are Women in Linux. I am Tam. D is in the background. Well, you can find us on social media, throughout social media, at Women in Linux. No .org, and that just at Women in Linux. So if you look up Women in Linux, you should pull all our social media and so forth. If you want to connect with us outside of our Saturdays, we meet every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we meet, and let me get that up. We meet every Wednesday If you go to meetup.com slash women in Linux, you'll see we have our shows. Everything that we do is more or less posted here. You have the stuff that you get alerted from on YouTube, but we actually do meet and talk. Like we don't just talk about these things. We actually do these things. Good morning, Wally. We actually do these things. Like, we actually execute. We actually open up our terminal. We actually spin up instances on GCP or DigitalOcean or Amazon and log in and actually walk through commands. I actually, show you how to install Terraform. We actually do these things. These are not talks. These are not just, hey, these are not whatever, right? These are, this is not one of those things that, we come and we're like, hey, I'm not a motivational speaker. Let me clarify that for you. I'm not a motivational speaker. I am more of a, here's what's going on in the world. Get your ass in it and let's ride, right? Let's go. Let's see where this is gonna take us. Oh, we hit a bump. Oh, let's change directions. Oh, look at there, that's sunlight over there. Let's go. I'm more of an executioner. Well, I don't want to say it like that, like a guillotine executioner. I'm more on the execution side than anything else. Everything else is fluff to me. I don't try to do fluff. That's just not who I am. The stuff that I come on here and talk about are things that I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try with you. I'm willing to give it a shot, right? I'm I'm willing to give it a shot. Speaking of, as it's going through my head, arrived homes. I talked about arrived homes, and I see it's picking up some steam. But arrived home is owned by Jeff Bezos. That's why that's what struck me. So I had known that Amazon was in the real estate, and I look at them as a real estate company anyway. But I had known they was in the real estate, but I didn't realize Arrive Homes was owned by them. Just a sidebar, just as it was coming through my head. Um, yep, yep. Adventures with Glam. We got to ride. Like all this stuff. Like man, all that stuff is man. Just get me started. Adrian, I'm with you on the 1 million or the 2 million. In fact, Joe, after I did that post on the 2 million job, Joe posted it again, and he was like, "This is on LinkedIn," and he's been on the show. Joe was like, "Hey, we need as many people." Then he hit me up. He was like, "Did you cover this? Did you put this out there?" I said, "I put it out there, Joe. I put out there about the job paying 2 million. I put it out there." He's very diligent about hitting me up about, hey, this job is paying 1 million or 2 million. We need black applicants. Get us black applicants. I get a lot of people that hit me up. In fact, I'm hiring for probably like 4 or 5 positions. Um, um, Rodrigue is hiring for 2 positions. Last I checked, for Red Hat for solutions architect. Um, and then Sophos, Michael Frazier. We did a interview with him on it. It's on our YouTube channel. We did it. I think I did Michael Frazier on a Saturday or Friday, Thursday or Friday, one of those. I think I might have done Thursday or Friday. We did a live stream with him. His company called Refractar got purchased. Did I get an offer for them? Yes, I did get an offer for them. And he came back around again and he's like, hey, we need senior DevOps people. And I was like, what does senior DevOps look like? Is that based on years? He's like, no, it's based on, can you do the work? Can this person come in here and do they understand Terraform and these things? Here's what I'm looking for. And so I got a call again with him this week to see what that looks like, right? And he's looking for 4 people. He's like he needs as many people as he can get, but right now he needs a total of 4 people right now. But he needs as many as he can get because they're growing. So and it's not classified, it's unclassified. You just need to have the ability at some point to get a security clearance, but you don't need one right now. So again, we execute over here. I don't talk to you about fluff or something that I wouldn't do or haven't done, or invite you into the circle of people that I know. That's just what it is. Engineering cameras, a family of four living now, you can make 85 to 90 in tech and live well. That is now my logo. You was on that stream. You saw that she got bashed. She got bashed on that. That is not what we do over here. I don't even know why. And this it is I don't want to say disheartening because it is that, but it shows the lack of financial literacy that we have on what it means to pay our bills and then thrive. Um, we have and I don't want to say it's even financial literacy. I just want to I don't even know what to say anymore. It is one of those things that pushes the mindset of like how can we even close the gap, not for between, I mean, right now, just to be honest with you, the Hispanics are earning us, and we have 100,000 Ukrainians that are coming into the United States. They're going to get hired at these engineering firms. They already start hiring them already, right? They're going to get hired. So now you got to ask yourself, who who and I said this months ago, we are in a global fight when it comes to these jobs. That's why it's so important y'all stay in touch with each other. That's why it's so important to have the Slack. That's why it's so important to even have the conversation to talk about money. Like we're not even comfortable talking about money. And I think that's really what it comes down to is our comfort level of talking about money, keeping it, and then investing it. That right there is one of those things that you know that boggles my mind, and like I don't understand it. um and boggles my mind from a perspective of like when I'm talking to certain women. I won't say it the way Cynthia G says it, but when I'm talking to other women in different groups, the one of the thing and even some of my friends who are from Africa, and growing up talking, one of the things they said growing up was, yeah, it was me, my mom, my dad, and I had siblings, but we always had nannies. Like we had a nanny to help us out. We had maids to come in and help clean the house and help us get ready for work. We had tutors that would come in and help us study, right? My mom and my dad, they were there, but we had nannies, we had maids. And when you start talking about that in the black community, oh my God, people be like, you bougie, it's offensive, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, you ain't gonna get that on 85,000, no doubt. And not on 90,000 either. It's not a big difference between 85 and 90, right? It's not a big difference. So oh no, we have to get out of that mindset. Deacon dropped the link for casual economists for one-on-one sessions. They are open. We're here. Okay, just send me an email, Wally. Appreciate you. Adrian, I don't know if it's lack of aspiration or it's just like When your circle, when your entire circle is making 85 and don't nobody break out to go make the next $25,000, that's all you see. You like, well, we the 85ers, right? It's just gonna all be what it is. King Tyler, that's right. We getting wiped off the chessboard. We get literally getting wiped off the chessboard. Yeah, we're literally getting wiped off the chessboard. So and not only are we getting wiped off the chessboard, we're getting pushed off the table, right? Getting pushed off the table. What's going on, Intentional Millionaire? What's going on, Kelvin? Sasha, you said my mom says dishwashers are for lazy people. I'm like, when then I guess I'm lazy. It depends on who dishes you washing, right? Depends on who dishes you washing. You could be washing dishes for a billionaire. You could be washing dishes for a billionaire, depending on who dishes you washing, right? We gotta get out of these that mindset of, right, you maybe your own company, right? You don't know. They're all you said sometimes we don't know how high we can go. Well, I mean, that's the point. That's my whole point. We don't know. Here's the thing. Let me ask this question. How low can we go? How much lower can we go? Are we really willing to find that out? How much lower can we go? Right? How much lower can we go? So when we had these conversations about negotiating your salaries, we saw Amazon this year raise their salaries up to 350,000 for their base. They were at 160 for a long time. Um, we see some of the renegotiations of even the RSUs. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. RSUs. It was a job that came over this week from see if it's here. This particular company was looking for someone, and they sent it over, and they are paying off the rip. They got a base. They have a base salary, anywhere from 200 to 250. They plus a 20% bonus, but I'm not that sure if that 20% bonus is yearly or monthly. It could be. You never know. Some people do pay monthly bonuses, but it could be yearly. Plus, they were given 200,000 in RSUs, unlimited time off, 100% coverage of your insurance, 80% on your family, and I can't remember everything else that went along with it. Plus, you got like a $10,000 stipend for additional training, and some other stuff. So I we were going back and forth on what does a total package of like that could look like, right? Just what does that look like, right? Shout out to Tracy Holmes on her things and what she's doing. Congratulations to her. But it's having the ability to have that conversation where we're like, okay, well, you know, I was talking to Dee this morning about jobs now. I'm starting to see more jobs now for senior DevOps and architects around about anywhere from 4 to 500, right? So I'm starting now to see more of that. And I mean, base, I'm not talking about, oh, our total compensation would look like this and we're gonna give you this fluff. No, no, not like that. Just at a base, right? Um, that's what I'm starting to see. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Uh, Different experience and goals you can't share with everybody, even family. Sasha, I just had that conversation earlier. I had it last week too. Um, and I talked about that, like how people would look at you and be like, "Oh God, you're making that kind of money," but oh God, you think you it. You're like, no, I don't think I'm in. I'm just here getting my skills and getting paid for them of what I think I'm worth. And let's just be real and be fair about it, right? If we're going off what the stats say, and when I say stats, they're saying that black women are making, see, white women are making 82 cents on the dollar, and I think black women are making 62 cents on the dollar. We're still underpaid if we're going by that, right? So if when I say 400,000 as a black woman, that means, it's my own interpretation, I could be wrong. I wait till somebody to prove me wrong. That means that there's some white man in this position that's making more than me, right? That's making more than me. And so then the money that I'm talking about making, when I know that black women are probably the least paid, and probably Hispanic women are the least paid in tech. If I'm talking about $400,000, well, what are they talking about, right? Like, what are they talking about, right? So it's just that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Why y'all don't want to see how much lower we can go? Why? Why y'all don't want to see how much lower we can go? Y'all don't want to see how much lower we can go? I know you do. Oh no. This how much lower I think we can go. Right here. Do you share that out? This how much lower I think we can go. That's how much lower. That's how much lower I think we can go. That's what I'm thinking. We can get that low. So what happened when you get stuck? That's how much lower I think we can go. Oh, morning. Good morning, Phoenix. Let me do it one more time. So when I ask this question, how much low can we go? That's how much lower we can go. We hadn't hit bottom yet. We hadn't hit bottom yet. We ain't hit it yet. Get on down there, girl. Ah! So you asked me what I be thinking about stuff in my, like, it just had popped up in my feed. I thought it was funny, but then when I said how much low can we go, it popped back up for me. This how low we could go. Like her chin, look at her chin. Like I would have to have a guard on my chin because I'd be like, girl, no. And it looked like she just holding her breath, just riding through. Like ain't nothing to see here. Ain't nothing to see here. Here we go. Yup. Impressive. I'm impressed. If you want to know, ask me if I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's how much lower we can go. All right, let's get back to it. If you want to, like I say, if you want to find us on social media, follow us everything, everywhere. Women in Linux. If you want to connect with us, our meetups, hit us up here, follow us here because everything gets posted here. This is our really our source of truth. You'll see stuff that we may randomly do. We try to I try not to do too many things too randomly because Dion don't like me behind the scenes, right? She don't like behind the scenes, but it is what it is. Um, Clubhouse, she don't monitor that. That's all us. Dion, D don't come into the clubhouse. Maybe every now and then she'll come in, but she don't come in the clubhouse. So we can say what we want to say in clubhouse. I got y'all. All right, and if you want to uh, connect with us on Slack, drop down. It is similar to Discord. I've been in Discord all week playing around with Discord. Can you make phone calls in Slack? Yes, you can huddle, you can make phone calls, you can screen share, you can do all of that. You all don't even have to even exchange information as far as your personal information or email addresses. So y'all can keep in contact with each other and so forth. You can break off into your own little channels. It's over 90 channels. When I say you can break off into your own, excuse me, uh, conference talk. So you can huddle or you can call each other. It will ring. You can share your desktop. You can video each other in Slack. You don't have to leave Slack in order to do anything else. And last but not least, if you want to donate with us, you can donate with your money. You can donate with your time. You can also super chat us inside of the actual YouTube. But again, if you want to donate outside of that, as far as coming up and doing a talk or being or doing a panel talk with us, you can hit us up in Slack or you can email us. However you prefer. It is not the only way to get in touch with us, right? So we just want to keep that real. So we need to get a stage where we're all our living expenses is 15% of our income and living in an expensive neighborhood with all our expenses covered. In order to do that, we got to make money in order to do that. And it won't be the $80,000 or $85,000 for a family of four. Even when you scrape your face on the ground, it's still not low enough for some people. You are absolutely right. Um, and see, I think engineering campus, you had said something up here. Uh, Tashika, I think you said you found another job. Congratulations. I'm glad you held your position on the whole unicorn notion. Yeah, we won't know what's possible until we learn the skills and apply. We most definitely won't. I don't consider myself a unicorn. I don't even look at Grant Cardone as a unicorn. Um, I don't look at Jeff Bezos as a unicorn either. I just don't look at people that way. I look at grit, hustle, being able to pitch, being able to get what you need. I think we have to do better at certain things. Is where I'm at. I'm glad you enjoyed meeting us. Yep. Invest in yourself, Rose, double roll. How you doing? Hey, Rose. Is that a play on Golden Girls? Or is that your real name? I'm 58-year-old in tech, getting ready to do a web development boot camp for 16K. Your thoughts are welcome, 16K. That's if you want to go that route. I'm not sure what's in that web development program. You know what that looks like or whatnot. Yeah, t-shirts are available. It depends on which ones you want to. Bell 4148, how you doing this morning? Shout out to everybody. All right, let's get cracking. Let's go. Let's get into Tam other thoughts. All right, news. This just came out this morning. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway agrees to buy insurance company. I'm gonna mess this up. Al Ghani. That's what I'm going with for $11.6 billion. Let's run this. We'll go check out their this insurance company. 11.6 billion. Let's go check them out. Let's go see what he's buying. Dominates our philosophy. Ooh, conservatism. Oh boy. Corporate overview. Latest news. Yep, Berkshire Hathaway is to acquire them for $848 per share. Wow. Whoa, let's do some numbers. You know I like seeing those numbers. I like seeing those numbers. Let's go. Let's pull up the calculator. Pull up the calculator. All right. So at $848.02 a share, we'll just leave the 2 cents off. I know it matters over time. Oh, we'll put it in there because we got a calculator. And let's just say you had, I don't know, 20,000 shares. Let's go with 40,000 shares. Let's just say you had 40,000 shares, you worked at the company, and you had 40,000 shares. Mm. And so if you had 20,000 shares, just divide that in half. Hmm. All right. Those numbers look good. I like those numbers. All right. Let's see. Let's go to about. Let's see. There's a contact us ESG. Remember those ESG funds I kept talking about? Corporate governance. Y'all gotta stay up on these ESG funds, right? I need to be watching what's going on in that sector, um, and what that looks like. ESG funds are portfolios of equities and or bonds for which environmental and social governance factors have been integrated into investments. It's been a lot of, and like I said, it's already said this. I talked about this earlier this year that ESG funds were going to be popping up. But let's get back over here to the investor relation governance. Let's see. Let's look at, yeah, ESG. They're what they're doing and where they're at. But it's a reason why he bought them. But these ESG funds, it's been a lot of money going into ESG funds. I'm watching a few of them. I mentioned them on the shows. Um, Investor relations, stockholder email alerts, operating RSU1, blah blah blah. Our leadership. Here's the CEO. He's been around since December of 2021. Here's their CFO. Here's their treasurer. Here's their senior vice president. He's been around since 2012. He was general counsel in 2009. Senior VP and chief investment officer, CIO. Vice president. You can see where I'm going with this. Vice president, vice president, what their pockets gonna look like after this for at $868 a share. Hey, 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 yes, Rebecca Edwards. Can we find Rebecca on LinkedIn? I'm glad somebody was in there. We just need one in the snow. One in the snow. Let's go look up Rebecca Edwards. Can we find Rebecca on here? Rebecca, where you at? Vice President and Head of Internal Audit since March of 2020. Ms. Edwards was the Director of International Audit at Blue Apron from June of 2016 to 2020. Ms. Edwards was employed by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. She is the member of the Institute of Internal Auditors and a graduate of the City University of New York. Do we have any more? Hey! Hey, man, look at there. All right. They almost look alike. They almost look like brothers. Hey, all right. Way to go, team. Corporate finance and since February 2020, chief risk officer. And he was assistant VP in 2021. This one is a vice president and people and inclusion. All right. We got some people in there. I hope that acquisition looks good for them. Shout out to Rebecca and Dale and Kelly. Oh, Kelly. Shout out to you three and everybody else on your team. Let's keep it politically correct here. All right. I tried to look up Rebecca. I couldn't. Let me see. Let me see. Should I put Rebecca? Oh, I got her name. ALLGH. Oh, they should go right there. There's Rebecca. She ain't posted anything. She only got 22 followers. She was like, "Girl, don't put me out there. I'm under the radar. Don't nobody know nothing about what's going on." All right, she started out in 2002 as an intern. She moved her way up to from an intern, and I guess she moved her way up from an intern to the director of her internal audit. She was working at American Express. She did 13 years at PwC. She left PwC in 2016 and moved over to director of internal audit at Blue Apron. She was there for 3 years and left and went to be the VP of internal audit. So you ask, what is the career trajectory of what it could look like for you for an intern? Here you go. She stuck with auditing, and she moved from being an intern to a director at PwC. And then from PwC, she went to Blue Apron. Do you all know who and what Blue Apron is? Here's Blue Apron. They do the meal delivery service, right? Meal delivery service for Blue Apron. Let me hop down here inside of and do careers here. So she was doing the one in New York. So Austin, New York, Richmond, and so forth. So you pick whatever, but here are the benefits: weekly farm markets, Blue Apron meal discount, 401k, paid time off, competitive benefits, and so forth. Right. So again, she went from Blue Apron to VP at I guess Allegheny Corporation. Excited to see at least three on the board there are in the VP seats to get some cash. All right. So I didn't see any jobs on here, but let me double check. Um, that's about SEC filings. Let's go over here and the ESGs want investor relations, operating companies, Trans Re, RSUI, Cap Specialty, so forth. This is who they are, right? Very, very interesting. They're not, they're privately held more than likely, but they're getting bought by your boy, right? Warren Buffett. All right, let's go on to my next one. Volkswagen. So, do you all know what is all in the Volkswagen brand? Do y'all know who and
The
what that
future
is?
is heading electric. Regulations are on board, the investment's on board, Wall Street's on board. Now the American consumer is on board. And honestly, it's exploding. This investment's strategic. We're undergoing the massive transformation into electrification. So what does that mean? One's more electric products. So we have the buzz behind us. We'll be announcing more SUVs. We've done a decent job at Volkswagen. We're up 15% last year, so we navigated the chip crises pretty good. If I look at our battery supply with what we have coming from SK Innovation in Georgia, relatively stable. So I think we'll be at about 55% of our mix by 2030. It's those final percentage points that are going to be the challenge, depending on geography and income and everything else that comes with that.
All right. So with Volkswagen going into the space here, I pulled up the Volkswagen Group, right? Because I wanted you to understand what's in the Volkswagen Group and going electric. Porsche announced this week that they're going electric on like the 718. I don't want to say the lower end brands, but that's what they are. Not the 718 GT4, but some of the lower ends like the Cayman and so forth. But they're gonna go hybrid on the 911s. Again, like I say, the supercar audience is gonna want that sound of the engine, so they got to play into that because they actually are the ones that are buying, that brand, right? And you also saw this week that Porsche and Apple are getting together to integrate more with each other. I would not be surprised if there will be an Apple branded car coming out of Porsche, where it's strictly inside all Apple products, possibly. There's also been talk of this week of Apple getting into more into podcasting, where they're going to sell hardware for podcasting. There's been talk about that as well too. So I would be on the lookout, me personally. This is only me personally, for those brands such as Apple and Porsche as to what they're doing. And keeping a watch in the news, set up your alerts in on Yahoo or any place that you get your financial news from for alerts for Porsche, looking at Apple, and then looking at Volkswagen for the next couple of weeks, right? Or however long, but just keep a lookout for those and watch how those stocks move, right? I've already talked about DevSecOps at Porsche and BMW. We talked about that. We also talked about at Mercedes. We also talked about AI and machine learning, machine learning at those brands inside the electric car, right? It's AI and machine learning in the ESQ, or is it EQS? I think it's EQS or ESQ. I think it's EQS, and what that looks like. So these are things that that we have to be aware of, right? Let me see what y'all are talking about in these comments. Is it's important to know stats. Or you doing something in the comments there? Blue Apron. Yep, yep. All right. So who's under the Volkswagen brand? Under the Volkswagen brand, we have our Audi or Audi. Um, got Lamborghini, Bentley, Porsche, and Ducati. In addition, the Volkswagen Group offers a wide range of further brands. This is why I say be on the lookout for what's going on. That's why I brought up the EV car because of this. And when I'm talking about Porsche and Volkswagen here, not Porsche and Volkswagen, but Porsche and, in my head, Porsche and Apple. What came out right here? Right here, Porsche discuss possible. Oh, stop doing that. Porsche possible joint projects with Apple, and what could that look like? So they've been going back and forth with this, where the Porsche managers went out to Apple in California to talk about what that could look like. What could a joint project look like, right? Just think about the interface. Well, let me take that back because I'm older in terms of my interface. But the interface for, hands down, let's just be clear, the Mercedes interface um outshines what goes on inside of on the higher end brands. We're talking about the S class here. We're talking about AMG and S class. Their interface and the touchscreen and what you're able to do, just the look of it is way more sleek. Let's look at Mercedes, the S580 um, interface. Oh, you can go interior. So when we're looking at this, right? This is, I mean, that's that. I mean, that you again, it's cockpit ish, but when you riding in a car that's like 180,000, 190,000, You want everything. You want everything. You want comfort. You want sport mode. You want everything. You want that thing to dip down when you hitting it. You want vibration in your steering. I want all the features. If I'm paying you that much, I want every feature that's possible. I want all the features, right? I want defrost on my window on my side mirrors. I want heated seats in the back. I want I want to have the TVs in the headrest in the back, even though I don't even have no kids. I just want it back there because I paid for it, right? All right, this is what I want. And then this is from 2021. Let's go through this gallery real quick. Let me just try to get through this real quick so we can get to the inside. All right, so that's what that looks like on the inside, right? And this is I'm not a fan of the red, but I my truck was in the shop for a week, and I drove this, and it was too big for me. It's just way too much for me. You know what, BMW interface? Yeah, I'm not a BMW fan. I feel like BMW can be kind of, I don't know, cheap for me. It feels cheesy to me. But BMW does have a good brand in the M series. You say Starbucks and Volvo are doing a deal as well. Yep. On EV charging stations and batteries. My thoughts on EV charging stations and batteries is um I've said this before. That's gonna determine a lot of things, because driving across country, as I drove from Florida to Colorado, that has you really have to find a route, because the stretches between gas stations is very, very far. And so you may not see a gas station for like 4 or 5 miles, and you may only have so much on a charge or whatnot. So, I don't know. But as far as what I like of what I see coming down the pipe for EV charge stations, are these charge stations, and I talked about this earlier this year, where you can drive your car into a port, and once you drive your car into a port, there is a under your chassis, it'll pull down your battery and then put in the new battery, and they're putting those up throughout different cities. Now, it only takes 5 to 10 minutes for that to happen. So instead of me sitting there waiting for a charge, which, again, when we're waiting for a charge, in some cases is anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, you're going to see more of, well, what do we put around here for people to do and eat and shop and explore, and what do we have for kids and dogs? We're going to see more, I guess, community style, for EV charge stations, and they've already started this in Europe, and I reported on this before. In fact, the ones that they're doing in Europe, the gas stations actually, the gas pumps actually go away, and they get moved to the side, and you pull up at the pump at like a charge, like you would if you were pumping gas, but you're really just, they're charging. They're taking their move the new gas stations, new gas stations, new electric gas station, new electric, and that's in my notes, and I gotta go back and find out what show that was. But the new electric gas stations are looking totally different than what the gas stations that we're used to before. Here it is, right here. This is the Circle K. This is the one right here. Let me start it.
Yo, what's up? We are now at Circle K, Kongsbergporten. This is a brand spanking new gas station from Circle K, right by the new highway. And this is quite different than regular gas stations we have. Let me show you what I mean. So here we have fast chargers. You recognize this? This is a hypercharger from Alpitronic. And by the way, the hyperchargers, they come in two versions. The thin one and the fat one. The thin ones, they have two slots. The fat one, they have 4 slots. And these ones can be configured for, well, it's actually 350 kilowatt. We have...
Now, this is the Circle K. Back over here, what you see right here is where they're getting their charge from, and this is all solar right here. All of that is solar. I want to speed through this because I want you to see, like, the pumps are not gas pumps. These are all for electric. The gas pumps are on the side. This is what Circle K is doing. I've also watched videos where 7-Elevens are also doing the same. So the look of the gas station, what we consider a gas station, is changing, right? And so let's get to what it looks like, not on the inside of that, but the inside of here, right? So you'll come in, you need to wait. You're gonna come in and you're gonna wait,
Several of them.
right?
It's nice that they come here. We also have, I'd like to go out there at the terrace, but okay. We have toilets also on the second floor.
Right.
Let's see, yeah, we can barely.
But what also is happening around this as well is they're building things to do, not just the gas station itself, but things to do like a dog park, or you want to go and do some quick shopping or whatnot. Like what we see is how we interact and drive, right, with electric cars and so forth is changing. So that also comes into mind is the electric trucks. When the electric trucks pull up, as they or the EV trucks when they pull up, how long is it going to take for those to charge? What is the driver doing as they're charged? Is it their downtime? And then we know the truck. In some cases, the truck drivers are going away. But even when they pull in, what is that? Even when those electric trucks pull in, there's gonna probably have to be something that's gonna come, something autonomous or some way or another for it to recharge. Somebody's got to stick a charge in something or push something up, or is it all solar across the top? So it's getting that. But what happens when there's no sun out in these other areas that tend to have long winters? So just things to think about as we're talking about this with EV, right? But again, like I say, be on the lookout for those brands and what's going to happen with Apple and Porsche and what that could look like, right? All right, so let's go on to some of the other stuff that I got. All right, so let me jump down here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with this one. All right, so on the lookout as well too. Let me get this over. For those that are looking for investments, this is happening today. The new Omega and Swatch watch, the Moon watch. I don't know if you saw about that.
Welcome back. Watchmaker Omega is getting Swatchified as the two watchmaking affiliates, that would be Omega and Swatch, are teaming up to bring the Speedmaster Professional, aka the Moon watch. That would be the watch which astronauts literally used in space. It's coming to stores this weekend. Yahoo Finance's Praz Supermanian has all the details. And Praz, as I understand, there are 11 models. You can only buy 2 at any one given location. If you're one customer, maybe bring somebody with you. Are you going to do some driving? How many are you going to buy this weekend?
Well, I'm not planning to tomorrow, Jared, because tomorrow is when they go on sale at the Swatch stores around the globe. But I know the hype is real. People are really excited about this. We're talking about the Moon Swatch here. It's a collaboration between Omega and Swatch to make this, using the Moon watch as kind of like a template. Like I said, 11 colors, a lot of fun. They're also made out of plastic, a bioceramic, they're calling it. So it's gonna be a bit cheaper construction. Also uses a quartz movement, not the famous, flight certified by NASA mechanical moon that you normally hear about with the moon watch. So, it's kind of deeply dividing a lot of watch people because they sort of feel like it might be diluting the Omega brand, but, also bringing on a ton of new people that are excited about the watch, kind of like us watches regular customers. It seems like Omega CEO said that this is a way for the budding watch consumer to get into this high-end game. But, we're also seeing a lot of hype, and it's causing some big crowds. We're seeing crowds in Asia, for instance, in Taipei, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, people lining out the night before trying to go get these watches the next day. And eBay prices are also out of control in resale. Our good friend Sam Rowe recently posted on Twitter that there are watches going for over $1,000, if not even more than that, for a watch that retails at around $260. So, we're seeing a lot of this mania and hype right now. But there's the big point is that it's not exactly an exclusive release. It's not a limited edition. They're going to be selling more and more at retail locations, also online. So, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because of the fact that, it's just getting so much buzz right now. But I think that eventually it should calm down. But this is such a really hyped up, cool looking, and it looks just like the regular moon watch. So I think there's a lot of kind of pent up demand and excitement for this watch.
Now I wanted to bring over what. Let me get out of big screen mode there, full screen. Bring this over. So this is what they're looking like. Right here's the different colors. Right, it's like I say, it's 11 different models, and they're at 260. But we already saw, and I already knew that this was gonna be the thing. I had been checking it out to see who was selling this watch and so forth. So yeah, these watches are what people want right now, and you're gonna probably see them. Like they say, they're already going up on e on eBay, but people want them right now. So again, and also be on the lookout for Porsche and Apple to get a watch together. Guarantee you that it's gonna happen. All right, it looks like a Dollar Tree original. Hey, for 260, people want it. All right, for 260, people want it. All right, so let's go. Let's move into some things. We still gonna talk about tech stocks and jobs. We're still doing that, but these are things I'm discovering. And don't be afraid to go check out Porsche and their jobs. Right. Sorry, here we go. So I was looking at this last night. The feds have deemed Atlanta. Come on now, the housing market unaffordable. Yep, it's official. The housing market in Atlanta is unaffordable. That's what they say. I would say the housing market in Northern Virginia is unaffordable, but who am I? All right. Metro Atlanta has been trending in the direction for a while. So has Florida has been trending in that direction as well too. The designation is according to the Federal Reserve, the latest home ownership affordability monitor update. Let's go and grab that. What does unaffordable exactly mean? The Atlanta Fed considers a number of data points in its calculation, including income, which is what I always said about Atlanta, me being from Atlanta and trying to get back to Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't popping on popping. Wasn't hitting on nothing when it came to salaries when I was trying to get back in Atlanta. The Atlanta Fed considers a number of data points in this calculation, including income, home prices, and interest rates. Basically, the annual payment for a median price home in Atlanta, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta metropolitan statistical areas now costs more than 30% than the local median income. The Atlanta Home Ownership Affordability Monitor updates with cities' core logic home price data and U.S. Census Bureau income accounts for the data from the month of January. Atlanta median income was a little less than 73,000. Now we already know from the stats that I reported on last week, we're well below that. We're in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, and so we should probably be focusing on a $45,000 jobs. I'm being facetious. Please don't take that as serious. It says as the median home price was roughly around $350,000, right? So it says the median income is a little less than 73. Now I did have that calculator up here before. It's like what does it take for you to have what income you need to be at a minimum at to bring to be able to qualify and afford a house for 350,000. Let me see. Income and house you afford calculator. Where is that at? See. Let me see. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have to go back and find it. We're gonna put down Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and can we change that? Nope, we can't change that. Does it tell you how much you need to be bringing in? It say 370 something. Your monthly payment says 2,000. It's saying your monthly income need to be about 8,000. So that's about 4,000 a piece, or 4,000 every two paychecks, or I mean every 2 weeks, or twice a month. But it don't give me what that salary is, but we can kind of guesstimate what that salary is. Um, Let me see, where's my calculator at? 8,000, 8,300. Let's just do that. So let me do 8,300 times 12. This is after. So that's 90. So basically, they're saying you need to be probably between 100,000 and probably 100,000 to 140,000 is what your base need to be if you're gonna get a home. And we can drop it down to 350, but whatever, right in there. Come back, come back, Jesus. Yeah, 360, 1917, still at 8,300 a month. So that's what we at, right? So again, I don't know if that's the median, right? So let's play this game. Let's go back to engineering cannabis thought process here. I'm gonna put that down as your thought process, engineering cannabis. You're gonna be okay though. If they saying that 85,000, if you're saying that 80 to 85,000 is what you can have to make it off a family of four, and they're saying that roughly the housing market, say you move into Atlanta with, 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 with a family of four, you're gonna need to be moving to a job at a minimum of 104,000. That's just to qualify. That doesn't include all your other debt that you may have as well too, and more debt that you're going to be occurring as well. So it's just a rule of thumb if you want to look at it from that way, right? Let me scroll back up. Just give you some good news, and then we're gonna go look at their jobs. All right, two HBCU grads celebrate 1.5 billion valuation of their fintech startup or their fintech app and startup after a major deal with QOLO. Let's blow them up. Angel Rich and Courtney King, best friends who met attending Hampton University, are the founders of Credit Rich app worth 1.5 billion thanks to its newly signed agreement with QOLO, their new payment processor. The deal creates continued pathways for improving credit and building wealth in underserved communities. All right. So let's go look up their app. Let's go look at Credit Rich. Let's see. Yep. Takes me right there. Let's go check them out. Leave your score to us. This is their website. Once you set up robots, do the rest. Download the app, sign in, add a creditor and a bill. Car payments, prioritize debt. Watch your score improve. Look into the future. So they pretty much automating this. This is again, all right. This is where your AI machine learning coming in. I'm looking to see because I don't see it on here. I don't see jobs just yet. Um, Want to learn more? They got an Instagram. They got a Twitter account. Um, they look like they got some daily tweets they got going on here. But I don't see anything about jobs. Right? That's what I was looking for. I was looking for jobs. Let's get into what they're saying about them. The partnership will strengthen credit's rich, self reinforcing model to increase the number of qualified customers for financial products as well as their spending power. And I mean, they have their information, so they can use that for marketing. They can use that to target towards you in terms of things that you now qualify for. That could be brand uh, that could be some branding around what dealerships or what car company makers that you deal with, including dealerships that you deal with as well too. So um, that's one thing. Um, see, by delivering payments quickly, Credit Rich is furthering its goal of bringing financial access to the masses, which focus on historically underserved and underrepresented communities. They initiated in 2021 an AI-powered fintech app, Credit Rich enables individually or via B2B to use their spare change or roundups to pay bills and improve their credit intelligence. Credit Rich promotes financial health innovation, allowing users to prioritize debt and raise spending power over time and driving driving further growth. Through the app's algorithm, prioritization is given to bills and impact the user's credit score. That impact the user's credit score. So probably the things that have the highest um, um, A, APR, you're paying 29%, 30% on a credit card and so forth. Which I was looking at credit cards recently, and I'm like 14%. Like that's a lot. 20%, 29, but that's a lot. Where is the one, two, where's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% at? Jesus. But I was looking at American Express. I was like, geez. And this was just in their thing. It's not nothing I qualify for. It's just in their little title. Had to step away. Yeah, Huntsville is. I mean, it's got $10 billion going into Huntsville. It should go up. I'm expecting it to go up. All right, so we talked about Omega. I tried to look up jobs with that. Shout out to the ladies on that. Um, but I also went in and checked out. You all can check out this website too, wealthmanagement.com. Right, hold on. I mean, this right here was that home ownership affordability monitor, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. And this is how they set things up. So you may want to check this out um, and see if it's something you may be interested in. And I'm sure they probably have Federal Reserve Bank of every city, but here I get this to D, and D can drop this out there for y'all if y'all want to check that out. All right, let's go. All right, so there's an increased crackdown, and there's a reason why I brought this up on citizenship and residency by investment programs. So I brought this up because a lot of people use their passports and then they go live in other areas through and gain citizenship through investment programs. And I talked about this with Portugal. as well too. So we're gonna look at this and what this means. All right, increased crackdown on citizenship and residency by investment programs. The U.S. financial advisors have their hands tied with ultra high net worth investors over the U.S. and foreign stock market performances since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Many of these financial advisors, and I'll blow this up since it looks like a little small on your screen, all right? Many of these financial advisors may not realize it, but that we're also beginning to see a crack in universal acceptance by the United States, the EU, and the United Kingdom of so-called citizenship or residency by investment programs. And here are the three recent developments: Travel Ban for Traffickers Act. In the United States, two U.S. congressmen introduced bipartisan legislation in early March of 2022 called the Travel Ban for Traffickers, which will revoke a country's right to remain on the U.S. Visa waiver program if they sponsor a citizenship for investment program in which passports are sold in exchange for economic investment in the country, right? And it's also referred to as the golden passports. They said although no proof is being offered because they say they lack transparency, no proof is being offered by critics. The perception is that these citizenships by investment programs enable wealthy foreign nationals of dubious characters to gain citizenship in a particular country, and enjoy all the privileges. If you got money, money talks, and everything else walks, right? All right. That's the Traffickers Act. And it says in April of 2021, the BBC and the Guardian reported some non-EU nationals received Maltese citizenship by spending only a few days there. According to the BBC, some investors allegedly met the 1 year residence requirement by Malta by renting empty flats or residence. Right, that's one. Britain cancels the Tier 1 investor program in a separate but related development and amid the current clampdown on Russian oligarchs. That's not going to happen because people been doing that. This program began in 2008 enabled wealthy foreign nationals and their families to settle in the United Kingdom in exchange for bringing some of their wealth to them, right? It said that the Home Office issued 2,500 or 2,581 visas to Russian citizens, right? Ultra high net worth is, I think, is 10 million and up, right? Let me go down here. Revised US EB5 program. March 2020 of 2022, U.S. congressional leaders reached a deal to reauthorize an investor program allowing foreign investors to apply for green cards after investing in the U.S. real estate or other projects after the program lapsed in 2021. Right, the EB5 visa program, which raised over $40 billion for U.S. Real estate and other enterprises, and particularly funded major developments in the Hudson Yards in New York, was suspended in July. The deal is to renew. The program was included. Thank you for switching. Now I got to figure out where I was at. Was included. Suspended. The deal was new. Was included to in the must-pass annual omnibus spending legislation. The revised EB5 deal represents a compromise between these legislators and rural states, right? So again, here it is. Under the terms of the EB5 program, foreign investors would need to commit at least 1.05 million into an investment program to qualify for a green card, or $800,000 into an area into a high unemployment, right? So if you got a couple of million, you can invest into real estate, or you can invest into in 800,000 into an area of high unemployment. In other words, create a business that's going to employ people, and you're going to probably need to bring in a million. When you wonder how people come in and they immediately find residence and so forth or whatever, just be on the lookout, right? And you can do the same thing too, right? These are not just for whatever. You can go and apply. I think, let me see, Lisbon, Portugal, um, investment, citizenship. Yep, property options right here. Let me get down here where it's not the golden visas, the golden visa of Portugal. Let me see. We're gonna look at that. Yeah, let's look at this. Golden passports. All right. To be eligible, you must meet one of the following investments: purchase a property of, well, I don't know, what is this? Is this euros? I can't remember. Euros. Okay. 500,000 euros. Invest in a $350,000 euro in Portuguese urban regeneration area. If you invest in a low density area, the investment amount is 280. The project should qualify for the investment. Invest in a $350,000 in investment fund. Make a capital transfer of $1 million, €1 million to a Portuguese bank. Purchase company shares, invest in $1 million, create 10 jobs for Portuguese nationals. And then the other one is just 350 and 250, right? Before you choose a program, you will have to consult with a range of experts, right? So that's just another way. This is just an example of how you can get into. I don't know what that noise is. How you can get into being inside of not companies, these countries in an investment citizenship through investment through citizenship, right? All right, so let's close these down. I thought that was interesting. All right, just a little tidbit of information there. Drop a one in the chat if you find this information interesting. I see it's 29 of you on here. Let me go out and see if we got our likes up. Did we get our likes up? It's 29 of you here. We only got 20 likes. Somebody's cheating. Why you treat me so bad? I don't know why, baby. Why you treat me so bad? Why you do me the way you do? Why you treat me so bad? All right. Has anybody been watching Rolls Royce? Rolls Royce, the electric plane shattered records. Who's getting on the first plane? The electric plane. Who's getting on the first electric plane? Drop. Who's getting on the first electric plane? All right, Rolls-Royce electric plane, the spirit of innovation, set two new world records, speed reaching a maximum speed of 555 kilometers per hour over 3 kilometers. The success of the test flight are an important milestone in transition to electric transportation. The electric plane. Let's go check it out. I'm sure there's a. You're not getting on it, Stacy. What? What if you don't know if it's electric? Electric plane. Let's go take a look at it. Right here it is right here. That was from 4 months ago, but this is what it looked like. Well, no, it's this what it looks like. Let me go back. Let me see. Is that what it looked like? Did I have a picture of it? Oh, I don't have a picture of it. I guess this will be it. This is from a month ago.
The Spirit of Innovation is an all-electric aircraft designed to go break the world electric speed record.
Let me see. We get it right here.
Considerably faster than that. Over 300 miles per hour would be remarkable.
We want to almost add 50% to the existing record. That's never happened before in the history of aviation record breaking. This is a really tremendous challenge that we're taking on to ourselves.
You just wait till they start getting people on here.
Electric aviation is really disrupted.
You just wait till they start getting people on here. Let's go check out Rolls Royce. And let's go check out jobs at Rolls Royce. Have y'all ever considered working at Rolls Royce? Let's go here. Jobs, Rolls Royce. All right, let's look at. Look, they got even have a STEM. All right, our journey. Meet our pioneers. I just want the jobs. Give me the jobs. Let's go USA. 6,000 people work there, and here are the locations of where they work for Rolls Royce. Civil aerospace and defense. Search and apply. All right, they have apprenticeships. They also have internships, and they also have professionals. This is all in the U.S. All right. So let's go look at their apprenticeships. See what they're hiring for apprenticeships. Coming up on workday. Okay, so they have, let me blow this up. They have engineering, procurement, supply chain, and so forth. Let's go engineering. So they have a destructive test engineer apprenticeship. This right here look like it's UK right here. I picked US, but anyway, they at least you know they have apprenticeships from manufacturing, commercial degree. They have a project management degree apprenticeship, so you can do an apprenticeship with if you're into project management with Rolls Royce, and it looks like it's for 4 years, right? Let me go back. There's a difference between um, apprenticeships and internships. There's a difference. All right, so let's go professionals. We'll close this one. All right, and let's pick the U.S. Maybe I picked the United Kingdom the last time, but let's pick U.S. And let's see, they got California, Georgia, Texas, Florida, Virginia, Mississippi, Massachusetts, Indiana. They're looking for a advanced development system security engineer in Indianapolis. They're looking for a design engineer, a performance engineer. These were posted yesterday. They're looking for a system security engineer, a fleet project engineer, testing for electronics, turbines, control system software, a PMO lead, an MRO, a powerhouse stationary, a naval marine field service rep, system design, a buyer or program lead. Let's see. Everything else kind of leans towards electrical electronic design lead, VP of business development, and these are all in the US. So when you look at these cars, don't look at the cars for the car. Look at the car for the engineering behind them. Look at the car for the brand as to possible employment. Right. All right. I did want to bring this up. This falls under data centers. Data centers are jobs as well too. Back to Atlanta, and then two other places. Um, this comes from the Business Journal. Atlanta. Here's why Atlanta data center market is one of the fastest growing in the nation. Um, Atlanta saw a high growth rate, out top seven data center markets in the country. The growth spurts puts the city behind Northern Virginia, a global data center mecca for leasing activity. It's data centers everywhere. Why has it happened? The technology industry explosion in Atlanta has contributed to the data center growth. CBRE's Data Center Solutions in Atlanta as companies, is that's from the Vice President Tim Huffman. As companies set up headquarters or regional hubs in the metro Atlanta, IT infrastructure often follows. That's why I always say with DevSecOps and infrastructure, there is no way you'll never be unemployed. Networking, infrastructure, automation, understanding how to build out data centers and clouds, just not going to go anywhere. You name me a company that don't use a server to build out its application. Even if they use serverless, they still got to use a server in order to build it out. It's still got to land somewhere. It's still somewhere, right? Um, Demand for real estate is often measured in square feet. The economic benefit, data centers are often big wins for communities. Economic development officials say, like I say, always check out economic development patterns in every city. Go to the economic development office and start reading on what's coming down the pipe. Right. Big tech, right? When we're talking about this, the Microsoft is building out 3 data centers in Atlanta as part of its massive expansion in the city, which includes 90-acre campus in on the west side. The tech giant plans to invest more than 400 million into the first phase of each data center. So 400 times 3. What kickbacks did they get? What kickbacks does the city get? What do you learn out of that, right? These centers have 4 additional phases of similar value. Those data centers could lure more companies into Atlanta and want to have high speed connections to Microsoft, right? All right, so that's one, right? What we're looking at, right? That's one when we're talking about with the data centers, right? When we're talking about data centers, we're talking about jobs. And it doesn't necessarily have to be jobs in the data center. There could be jobs centered around getting people applications deployed, uh, vetting other customers to use. I'm sure Microsoft probably will have. I got some type of lease program where you could probably rent out part of their data center as well too. So let me pull up these other data centers that I wanted to talk about. All right. Here. All right. Meta chooses Kansas City for its construction of its $800 million data center, expected to invest millions in Missouri. So if you're in the Missouri area, Meta is putting in a almost $1 billion. We're gonna call it $1 billion because you got to hire people into this data center. Um, Missouri economic development leaders gathered Thursday at Union Station to announce its plans to build a massive data storage facility in Meta. So when we think about this data center for Meta, we got to start thinking about security. We got to start thinking about jobs. You got to start thinking about uh, who is around the area. People got to eat. People got to have fun. People got to sleep. So housing, all these things happen being in the vicinity of, right? What those community bills look like. This is what you have to be thinking about, right? You want to invest, make your money in tech and go invest elsewhere. What's around this area? Who's going to get the type of education that they need to work for Facebook? What is Facebook looking for people to work there, right? So that's what we got to start thinking about, right? Meta will invest 800 million in the nearly 100 million square foot facility, which will bring in 100 jobs to the area. All right, the project will generate 1,300 construction jobs at the peak. Parson called it one of the largest investments in the state history. Kansas City is the fastest growing tech market in the United States. That's what they say. Kansas. Everybody claims that, right? He said Meta recognized that when making the choice. Parson also said Missouri ranks as the 10th in the U.S. for women in technology. KMCO ranks 10th in the U.S. for the best business climates. This is why we're not. This is why we're on the right track in Missouri. He said Mayor Quentin Lucas announced that the data center will be built in the city's second district, which is the Northland and stretches from near Liberty to around Kansas City International Airport. To see what we got in the future here is just beyond belief. So when you do this, you go to Kansas City, Kansas City Economic Development. Boom. And we do this for every city. Strategic initiatives. What are their initiatives that they have? What is drawing? Because once Facebook lands there, other companies will start landing there, right? Once Facebook lands there, other companies will start landing there. It is the same way with Pocatello, Idaho. Old Pocatello. And y'all are like, Tameika, why are you talking about Pocatello? Well, it was a reason why. There's a lot of companies that moved to Pocatello, Idaho. One is Idaho, and the other one is land, and the other one is uh, right here. It's happened in 2019. FBI cuts ribbon for new data center in Idaho. Right. The DOJ participated in a ribbon cutting for a new data center in Pocatello, Idaho. 140,000 square feet. The reason why I know about it because they interviewed me for it. And I was like, what in the heck is in Pocatello, Idaho? What is in Pocatello, Idaho? But come along with that comes other companies that want to work or do work with that particular agency, right? So you would have somebody. I think there was a Walmart going into that area and so forth and so on. So it's just one of those things that you see. $100 million FBI Grey Wolf data center opens up, right? Just something to food for thought, right? So go check out these Department of Strategic Initiative, Business and Job Development and Land Development. What are they doing in every city? There's an economic development. There's something going on. You need to go find that out. Next one up. Let me grab this, and we got 5 minutes to wrap it up. Keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on the housing. Go buy the houses. All right, right here. Publix is planning a Florida data center in a former FedEx building. If you don't know, Publix has a large IT department. We'll go check that out. Supermarket chain Publix is planning a new data center in the former FedEx building in Polk County. The first reported is, I don't know who is LKLD now. Project Horizon will see the supermarket chain invest some 40 million developing a new data center. Details of the project are lacking. The company is saying that the project is an expansion project of corporate headquarters IT department and intends to renovate 142,000 square foot located at 333 Lemon Street in Lakeland, right? So when we talk about Polk County, I know you guys seen the guy from Polk County all on the news all the time, right? If you go here and type in Polk County, uh, you should see that guy right there. He's always on. He's always on. He's always on. He's always on YouTube. We looking for this guy. He ain't. He'll go and give a description or whatever. Like we looking for him now, right? That's what he always talks about, right? Right? He he don't care nothing about his words. He don't mix no words, right? But what is also interesting about Polk County, and we look at what their plans are again, economic development, um, and where they're headed and what they're doing. All right, not Polk County there. Let me go Polk County. Florida. Right, and what they're doing, right? I go check out all the different counties where I see stuff popping up at and what's going on. Right here, out here in Lakeland. Lakeland is getting again their own international airport for those that are in Florida. Lakeland is between Tampa and Orlando, as you can see it here on the screen. But they're getting their own international airport, right? And then you also have a lot of warehousing out there. So again, this little area right here is hot. You also have Winter Haven over here, but this area right here has been hot for the last 2 years. Orlando has been very hot, but this right here is hot too. Then you have over here what we call the Space Coast, which is Port Canaveral, where they do launches and so forth, right? So you got to know, when we start seeing data centers being built, that means people got to work in those data centers, which means they got to have housing in those data centers. And then you have to look and see what other companies are coming in and being invested in inside and around that, right? This is how, it only takes one company to spark a community growth. And you'll see that Amazon does it all the time. Multiple companies do it, but Amazon does it all the time when they build their warehouses, and then people get employed, and then what goes around those warehouses, what's in the proximity of, when we're talking about this. I got approximately 1 minute, and I didn't get through everything, but that's okay. Uh, yeah, I'm okay with that. Let me make a mention of. Well, I don't need to mention of that on this. Sure. I'll mention this. I'll mention the other one on the other show. I'll mention this since we're talking real estate anyway. Um, I thought this was good. A team of black real estate developers make history with $100 million project in Birmingham, Alabama. The team of black real estate developers is making history as they are set to launch $100 million housing project in Birmingham. It will be the city's largest project, led solely by African Americans. Here you go. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin, and the City Council have approved an ordinance authorizing the sale and the development of 222 acres of land to the Green Meadow Apartments LLC for a purchase of $5 million. The project development team is all African American, including the general contractor, with over $2 billion to date. That is the largest transaction led by African American in the city's history. This is a great day for Birmingham, not only because of the jobs and the homes and the economic impact, but because of the history that is being made. The area is located Lakeshore Parkway at 1911 Tiger Walk, and will be developed into a multi-phase project that would include single, multi, and senior housing for estimated 900 residents. There's also plans to include a town center, a grocery store, a commercial space, and retail office space. The total investment for this project is said to be $100 million. Green Meadow Apartments CEO Michael Green, who is the former HUD field office director for the state, is leading the project and is expected to create 2,000 construction jobs, 240 permanent jobs, and the commercial areas will likely generate 500,000 in property taxes over the next 3 years. So when I look at things like this, what I see is we need jobs in that area that are technical. We need to also be looking at job training as well too, and what else is going on in Birmingham, that can be centered around this project as well too. So it's never too late to get in on this project if you're looking to train people, employ people, keep people up to date on latest and greatest and current events, financial literacy. The list goes on. I'm glad to see there is a grocery store. I wonder what chain is going to into that. Also, when I start thinking about this is another thing I wanted to bring up, and I promise you I am done so we can get ready for the next show. Do you know who the former CEO of Jamba Juice is? And the reason why I brought that up is because the former CEO of Jamba Juice is actually came out with a book, and I think I'm going to talk about it on on the next show. But I just want to put this in your head. A former CEO, James B. White, is the former CEO. Jamba Juice. This guy here. He actually has a book coming out called Anti-Racist Leadership: How to Transform Corporate Culture into a Race-Conscious World. He is the former. I didn't even know Jamba Juice CEO was black. Right? So there you have it. We'll talk more about him on the next show, but I want to put that in your ear so you can go look him up and look at his history. The next show is going to be jam packed. We're gonna go over a lot of stuff, from Don Peebles to Thomas. It's not Whitmore. Is it Thomas Whitmore? No, Thomas Moorhead, to Maynard Jackson, to some economic development plans that I've been looking at, and also to leadership and what that looks like. I want to transform us. We talked about the money. I'm still going to talk about the money. That's not going to stop. But then let's talk about being on boards, and let's talk about leadership, and let's talk about retaining our wealth and retaining our position inside of companies or companies that we create. What does leadership look like? I want to talk about more of that on the next show. I'll see y'all then. Be tuned. Stay tuned for the next show.